I try to make people comfortable in the woods. It means comfortable stuff to camp in, great destinations, and really good food. I always had access to canoes, trails, acres of land to go and play on. And it's where I felt most at home. I got to grow up with my great-grandmother next door to my grandparents. And we spent a lot of time just the simple life. So I wanted to have more time with my kids, and I wanted them to experience how I grew up. Being able to walk out in my backyard and pick berries, to jump on the lake and go for a paddle, and it's just less busy and simple.
Heading down home to experience the intimate beauty of Tusket Falls, Nova Scotia, to meet with Nancy Nickerson, founder of East Coast Paddle Company. Having grown up in Tusket Falls with her family rooted here for generations, Nancy has channeled her love for the woods and the waters of Nova Scotia into an unforgettable wilderness experience. Let's dive into the natural beauty of Tusket Falls.
Nancy, it's so great to be here with you in this gorgeous setting. And is this where you grew up? Did you grow up in Tusket Falls, Nova Scotia?
I sure did. That's where I spent most of my childhood.
Wow, okay, so what was it like growing up here in this community?
It was really low-key. We swam from May till October in the tidal river, lots of playing in the woods, hanging out with grandparents, great-grandparents, great-aunts, uncles, really family-oriented childhood.
So you spent most of your life enjoying the outdoors, which you now do for a living, which is amazing. It must have had a huge influence on you. And you were surrounded by your family down here, so there's a whole community of you. You had multiple generations that you got to grow up with.
Yes, I got to grow up with my great-grandmother next door to my grandparents. My great-grandfather was there until I was about 14. And we spent a lot of time just the simple life.
Was being a part of the outdoors obviously very important to you? Was that something that was sort of instilled for you from early childhood through your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents?
Absolutely. They were farmers, hunters, foragers. They did it all. Everything revolved around the seasons and what was to be harvested, and spent a lot of time outside because that's where you went to do it.
So you went to school here as well? Did you go to high school here all the way through till graduation?
I went to high school here till grade 11, and always being a bit of an adventurous soul, I packed up and went to the Canadian Rockies to finish my grade 12 year. And I went to the College of the Rockies in Golden, BC, and did an outdoor leadership program where I climbed, did avalanche training, did all kinds of outdoor skills, along with academic education in the evenings.
Wow, so you took what you grew up loving and knowing here and then decided to expand and learn even more across the country. Was that something that you always knew was going to be kind of your life's path, was going to be doing something outdoors?
I think so. I always had access to canoes, trails, acres of land to go and play on, and it's where I felt most at home.
I feel like I'm already kind of being welcomed in by your family. We just got here because your mom made us fresh muffins and you grew a watermelon and cut it up for us. I felt very welcomed by you and your family in the community.
Absolutely. I grew up where it was an open door policy at my great-grandparents' house. Every night at 8 p.m. there was tea from the time my grandfather was a young boy, and that carried on while I was growing up. And there was always food on the table, so you welcome guests with food.
Absolutely. I love that. I love food. I love being welcomed by food. And you said something when we showed up, which was, you said, yeah, the first thing that we do is make food for you and feed you.
Yes.
I was like, this is the right place for me. So growing up, did you do a lot of family camping and canoe trips and stuff like that? Was it all the generations?
We did a bit of camping, just being outside, so it was like we were always camping.
And you have a lot of family history here. And I know that we're just right next to the fire hall, which I think you have a little bit of family history there as well, do you not?
I sure do. When I was a child, my grandfather and uncles were volunteers at the fire department. My great uncle Don, my grandpa's little brother, showed up to unlock for us this morning. And a lot of the women were part of the ladies' auxiliary at the fire hall, which put on the Strawberry Festival and different events.
Amazing. So I mean, your family has really been like a staple in this community, and you've really been a strong part of it, and you're still going. It's all still going. You're all still here, right?
Absolutely. My grandparents are just down the road celebrating their 66th anniversary today.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's auspicious and lovely. When you were in Banff, you worked in the hospitality industry, and I can imagine it would have been quite a different life there. So how does it kind of compare to moving back here, and what did you bring with you, and what are some of the things that you were really happy to come back home to?
I really enjoyed working in the hospitality industry. I think you can't make people happier than giving them a nice plate of food. And I thought, what could I do when I came back here? I really missed serving people food. Although as a restaurant manager, I worked the floor. I loved it. And so I love the woods. And what can be better than serving people great food in the woods?
Right? That's so true. And going on an adventure while you're at it, too.
Absolutely.
And I hear that sometimes when you're going out on adventures, you have like iced coffee sometimes, baked pies. I've heard crazy things about the stuff that you bring sometimes when you're out camping.
Absolutely. You got to eat really well, because sometimes the wilderness isn't comfortable, but the one thing you can control is what you eat. So I've learned to be really creative with my packing and lug coolers. And we do. We make pie, we make bread on the campfire, and I do sneak in ice cream or ice for iced coffee.
What? Okay, I've never had a camping experience like that before. I think I need one.
Absolutely you do. Everyone does.
Yeah, everybody does. If people knew that you could be that comfortable while camping, more people might do it.
Absolutely. I think life gets too busy. We don't have time to pack, think, and we just want to be comfortable. So that's what I try to offer my clients, is an experience where they can reconnect with nature, they can be comfortable and eat really great food.
So I'm excited to see what we're going to do today. I'm hoping there might be some paddling involved, maybe a campfire.
Absolutely. I'm hoping that you'll join my friend Carlin and I to go out on a little paddle adventure and then a nice campfire lunch, and I can show you a little bit of what I offer my guests.
That sounds perfect.
Garden.
Wow, like look at that. Oh my God.
That was so much fun on the water, going out paddleboarding. It's just, I always feel like whenever I'm on the water, I'm completely relaxed and at peace, and it was so beautiful. Thank you so much for taking me out.
Thanks for joining us.
It was incredible, and this is something that you get to do and offer all the time, right?
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way.
The food is absolutely incredible. This is my second bowl. I will continue to eat. And Carlin, you have been on many of these trips.
Yes, I have. More than I can count.
More than you can count. So you're a great person to talk to about some of the stuff that is, offered.
Oh yeah, she offers pretty much anything you can imagine. Iced coffee, whipped cream. You can have cream lobster. You have homemade sea salt. The list goes on. The chili, though, is probably one of my favorites.
And a lot of what you put into the food that you bring on is from your garden. You actually grow it, right?
Absolutely. We try to grow everything that we bring into the woods and preserve it so we can use it year-round.
I know times on the trail when we were out paddling and stuff, I'd start to get really cranky. And Nancy would always be like, okay, well, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a nice meal, and it always perks me up. Me and my sister wanted to go on a sister trip, and that was actually a really special one. We went out, and there was a lot of, hidden beaches and things like that that people don't even know about. And so when we finally got to our destination beach, we sat down and we had these beautiful coffees with whipped cream and caramel and chocolate, and it's just, that little bit extra that you always remember. And that was an amazing trip. It really was. One of our most recent trips, we went out, and it was like a relaxing women's trip, and we just paddled and we fished, and we made some good food. We watched the loons call. It was calm and peaceful, and we both came out feeling a lot better than when we went in. That's for sure.
This spot is so special. As soon as you get here, it just feels really calming, and I'm sure you have lots of spots like that. But it was so fun to just be able to put the paddle boards right into the water, just set off into the lake and head out to the island. And it was really cool because as we were going around, you were pointing out the different spots where your family lives. Your family's all over the lake here.
Absolutely. They settled here. They were some of the loyalist settlers that settled, and they're all the way through Rennerton, Gableton, and Tusket Falls.
I just got a tiny taste of what you do, and I'm really excited to come back and actually experience the entire experience. But can you tell me a little bit about what you offer as well, more than just what we just did just now?
So I try to make people comfortable in the woods. So by doing that, it means comfortable stuff to camp in, great destinations, and really good food is the staple of each experience. So anything from a half-day adventure like we kind of did today to multi-day adventures throughout the Tobiatic and the Great Barron and Quinnen Lakes areas.
I love that you have a tent that you can set up on your paddleboard. So when you're out in the wilderness camping,
Yep.
you sleep on the paddleboard?
Generally we do, because that way we're able to create level ground anywhere. Even if it's a little wet, we're able to get up off the wet ground. So it just creates a really great flat platform to sleep on, and we're carrying a little less gear.
Absolutely. And you have a cute little tent that goes on top, a mattress.
Yep.
That's so I can blow up a mattress. So that's pretty.
Some of these little adventures, they're pretty comfy.
Yeah, like this
That's
sounds
almost luxurious even.
It sounds luxurious.
It's a good time.
Some of the food, some of the.
You need to come out.
I do. Absolutely. This was just a little taste, and it was incredible. So I'm excited to see what else you offer too. This spot here next to the river, it's so beautiful. Can you tell me a little bit about why you picked this spot?
I picked this spot because this is actually Tusket Falls, and this is where my family dipped Gaspereau. And last season, my son was one of the 7th generation to dip kayak in the same spot, and he dipped them with his great-grandfather.
Wow, and that all took place here through your 7 generations.
Yep.
In this very spot.
This very spot. The other great thing is this is where I swam as a kid. I love this river, and really the river's home.
And your family, so in Tusket Falls, because there's Tusket Falls and then there's Tusket, which is very close by. Tusket Falls is not as big as Tusket, though. It's mostly your family that lives here, is that right?
A lot of it is my family. It's a small little village, kind of off the beaten track.
Do you have any memories of, Tusket or Tusket Falls growing up and the community and what it was like to be here?
Absolutely. So how I used to like to get to Tusket from Tusket Falls is Grampy would put his boat in the water, and I'd get to water ski down to Carl's store and go get an ice cream sopping wet.
Wow, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
What a great way to grow up. And then the community of Tusket itself, tell me a little bit about that. What was it like, moving away and then coming back here, and what's changed?
Not a whole lot has changed in Tusket or Tusket Falls. A couple of new businesses and enterprises, but you still have the same old Carl store, a little expanded. And across the road, you have Canada's oldest courthouse and community archives.
Wow. And I can imagine that being such a small place and, you know, only having a few stores, you must have a very close-knit community here.
I feel it is a close-knit community. We tend to stick in Tusket Falls a lot, but Tusket's a great place to go to the market on Thursdays. You run down to Carl's store for your steak or your ice cream.
Who doesn't love that? Being that your family's been here for, you know, multi-generations.
Yep.
What can you tell me about the history of this area?
A little bit of the history of Tusket Falls. There's a bit of legend that the Norse had come up the river to this point, as well as lots of Aboriginal finds. They did archaeological digs just up the bank as well. And my 4 times great-grandparents have a special rock and a little plaque just up the shore. They lived in Florida for a while and they came back here. Watson was one of the famous hunting and fishing guides.
Wow, so you are now continuing on your family's lineage because you are now guide in this era, but they were guides back then, and it's kind of like a family business almost.
Absolutely. It seems to come naturally.
Well, it certainly felt that way when I was out there with you, and it was a really wonderful experience, and I just thank you so much for sharing it with me.
Oh, thanks for coming along.
So if people want to meet with you, it's usually they got to find you in the backwoods on the trail somewhere.
Well, we usually have a general meeting spot, but it's a little bit of ways, and it's the start of the real tough journey where cars can't get to.
With your business, it feels like you're often bringing people here from away to kind of experience this incredible place that not everyone knows about.
Mm-hmm. So I do have a few visitors that come quite a distance, and I'm expecting a lady to come from the UK in October for an experience.
Wow. So it's really beautiful that you're kind of able to show people from all over the world what an incredible community and space and environment this is as well. It's quite a calling.
Absolutely. It's pristine, it's a beautiful wilderness area for our province, and it's a hidden gem, I would say.
Oh, it's definitely a hidden gem. So what do you hope for the future of Tusket Falls?
I hope it stays exactly the way it is. I hope my great-grandchildren get to play in the river in Tusket Falls.